Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but because enrollment for my next 12-week challenge is currently open, I'm going to take some of these questions that I've got from social media. I'm going to answer them in a succinct and quick fashion. I hope I haven't actually looked at any of these before, so we're going to just jump straight into it. Should you do 16-8 morning fast if I do HIIT or CrossFit in the mornings? So 16-8 on intermittent fasting is in essence, just reducing the amount of food you're eating. Very simply, let's be almost borderline facetious with this. The majority of people eat 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When people do intermittent fasting, they reduce one of those meals, the first one being breakfast. So, if you were to have equal calories across those meals, which no one does, you would then reduce your intake of calories by, say, 33%. Now, if you train in the morning, is that a problem? Do you need to do it fed? Well, my answer to this would be it's personal preference. Some people like to eat before they train, some people don't. Everyone's worried about not having any fuel in the tank. Our body is an incredible, you know, machine at storing energy for later use. If you ate a good dinner and went to bed, it's only been 8 hours since you last ate, which is not a huge amount of time when it comes to the human body. You'll be fine. So again, it's going to be personal preference for the win. Any of you guys tuning in and watching this on YouTube, feel free to jump in and ask me any questions. I'll also be answering those and actually prioritizing those. How to stop snacking in the day. Food is all I think about and I hate it. So again, snacking completely fine, completely usual. Even if you're in a calorie controlled diet, you can even work to, you know, segment foods or small snacks before meals. But again, one of the best tools that I get people to use is again, push that feeding window to a bit later in the day, a bit like intermittent fasting. Because if you start eating at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, everyone's concerned. They're like, oh, but I trained in the morning. You're going to be fine. You can go a few hours without eating, especially if your goal is fat loss. Everyone's like, but my muscles need to replenish. They need to recover. Well, if your goal is fat loss, how about you prioritize that and focus on that and do the not eating bit, then focus on replenishing. If you're focusing on replenishing, it sounds more like a performance goal. But yeah, snacking is completely normal. Eating between meals is completely normal. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to address. And if you think about food all the time, maybe just block it off to a certain point later in the day and don't eat until that. Oh my God, the questions are coming through fast and aggressive on YouTube. Let's have a look. How do I hold myself accountable for mindless eating when I'm not hungry? Again, tracking calories would be good for this. If you're using my fitness pal, I guarantee the amount of occurrences that would happen would be a lot less. Is it true that a too low body fat is unhealthy? Absolutely. The majority of fucking physiques that we parade around as fitness aren't healthy. I mean, think about this. Most women with an eating disorder, if they get fake tits and take anabolic steroids for a few months, suddenly they can get given a medal in the right federation. Dudes as well are dieting for shoots that they can go on the front cover of a magazine that get so lean their dick doesn't fucking work. So the fact that people are starving themselves to the point and covering themselves in fake tan and smiling on the least healthiest day of the year and calling it physique competitions. Being too low body fat is not healthy, full stop. Okay, I get sick. Oh, that's my dog. I get sick when training intense. Should I lower the weights or intensity? I'm new to lifting weights. Yeah, if you're feeling sick, I would reduce back. What about carbs? What about carbs? What is your question? How risky do you consider the conventional deadlift, James? Well, think about this. If you are doing powerlifting and you're trying to pull 2, 3 times your body weight, you're probably going to cause a lot of stress to that part of the body. But the conventional deadlift isn't fucking risky. Think about this. If you're going to say deadlift's dangerous and you're going to shy people away from picking things up off the fucking floor, there is carryover to this. You get a woman deadlifting a good amount of weight, she's probably not going to slip a disc picking up a kid when it's a 3-year-old. There are so many benefits to doing conventional deadlift. You just lose those benefits when people start getting a bit fucking stupid with the weight and lifting too heavy. We've known this for a long period of time. You know, I think there was a guy on Joe Rogan that said the deadlift's not worth it. I don't think he was talking about general populations. Do Slim Fast shakes, breakfast and lunch, then a normal dinner work? Well, you're probably getting a small amount of calories from the two shakes, and then you believe they're going to work, and then you get to dinner and you have a normal dinner. Probably puts a large amount of people in a deficit, but I would not recommend some fast shakes to really anyone. Okay, thanks for answering my question. No problem. Okay, let's have a look. All right, let's get in some of these other ones here. Advice on recovery from twingy back and shoulder after doing strength workout. See a physio. Turning 30 and being asked to move towards my partner. Am I too old to move? No. I came here at like 28, maybe 27. I'm not sure. Do you burn calories faster if eating soon after a workout, or doesn't matter, just calorie deficit? So imagine this. I want you to think about the amount of energy going into your body versus going out, similar to paying money into the bank. If you put 50 quid in the bank today at 9 a.m. or 5 p.m., it's still 50 quid. If you spend £40 today, if you spend it at 10 a.m. or at 3 p.m., you still spend that same amount of money. The timing is not as important as people will make out. Not a question, just joined having done others in the past, and the app is amazing, makes it easier. Thank you very much. For any of you that do want to consider doing my 12-week challenge, I'll just put a link in. I'll put a link here for you guys if you do want to check it out. You can use and download the app for free. Not only that, you can. It's all right. It's okay. You can. That's the dog. That's my dog. Can you bring him to me, please? Tay, you want to meet the dog? I'll bring you the dog. I'll bring you the dog. This is Alfie. I hope you guys are excited. Yeah. We can have like a little Lion King moment here, mate. This is Alfie. And if you do join my program, we get to feed him. Look, he must not be able to afford food if he's chewing my fingers. I get that. Okay, back into the questions. Okay, let's have a look here. Thanks so much for this, by the way. No pleasure. I'll do these every day if I can. Do you take any vitamin supplements that have helped you? Okay, so I've just started taking Tonka Ali. I'm just going to see how that works. I'm going to get my bloods done in a few days. I'll report back on that. Can I do a challenge whilst following the 9 ancestral tenets? Yeah, you can. 100%. 100%. Okay. Is it okay to eat one cheat meal once a week? I'm struggling from fatty liver. So I don't really like cheat meals, if I'm honest. I don't like the idea that people restrict themselves so much that they get to fucking, binge out. If you want to have a piece of pizza, have some pizza. You want to have ice cream tonight? Have ice cream tonight. Make it fucking work in your calories. It's not difficult. Even if you wanted to have a Big Mac tonight, say you want a McDonald's. A lot of people want fucking McDonald's. Cool. Just go and have a Big Mac. 550 calories. Fit that into your day easy. Probably still hit your protein target. There's no point in binging and trying to glorify it. You're trying to glorify a binge and you want to label it with something. Fuck that. It's not the way to do it. If you want something hedonic, just fucking have it. Even if you want to take a few days off your deficit and just go mad and have something, just give in to that craving and do it. Can I gain muscle by only lifting 3 times a week? Push-pull legs. Yes, is the short one. And again, push-pull legs. A lot of people like to do a push day, a pull day, and a legs day. I like to segment it. I've got a YouTube video on this. 20 minutes legs, 20 minutes push, 20 minutes pull, 3 times a week. That's how I like to do it. Okay, what equipment do you need if you sign up for home workouts? TRX or a suspension trainer, I think are amazing for home workouts. Bands, kettlebells, maybe a bench if you can, depends. So training for a marathon with a challenge to be able to help with the running training as well. I'm not a running coach. You know what? I'd say in that case, you might be better off giving your money to a running coach. Okay. Does Alfie have a nickname yet? Yes. Alfie Walfie. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Do you think Chris Hemsworth physique is attainable naturally? Yes, when he's not juiced up filming Thor, he is, yeah. Okay, you said there'll be a Discord group, but your trainers say there won't. Which is it? It just hasn't been made yet, Fozzie on Instagram. I suppose you're probably not going to see that. I just did a story about that on my Instagram. I'm doing a Discord for the 12-week challenge as well. I'm a nurse and do shift work. Would this work for me? What if I want to gain muscle and lose fat? So shift work will be an issue with that. Shift work is going to make that process a lot more difficult because you're doing shift work. You're going to be jet lagged all the time. When people think about muscle growth, look behind me. There is a plant. If I want that plant to grow, let's imagine that's muscle tissue for a while. Let's say I want that to grow. I don't just think about watering it. I've got to put it in the sun. I've got to make sure that the soil's changed. I've got so many different factors. Unfortunately, doing shift work is going to make building muscle and losing fat a lot more difficult. So again, it's just about being smart and realistic with your goals. You can do that. Okay, let's have a look. Some questions here on YouTube. Okay. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm full. Any tips by eating slower? Track your calories. See how much you're actually eating. Track your food for a few days or a few weeks. Then you'll know whether or not you're overeating by the amount of calories going in. Is it important to space out your calories throughout the day? No. But if you wanted to build muscle, you'd want to space out your protein through the day. Okay. How do you rationalize the calorie deficit approach while listening to the likes of Tim Spector or the more definitive science behind weight loss and eating? Do you know, I don't know too much about Tim Spector, if I'm honest, but he is selling a product which isn't calorie counting. So it's funny how he likes to dismiss and discredit these things. He contradicted himself a few times in the Stephen Bartlett podcast, but I'm not saying my approach works for everyone, but he is obviously focusing on gut health and as a gut health product. Just when people are trying to talk about the definitive science and the studies, they will always skew it towards their way, their system of doing things, ultimately, so they can make money. So yeah, there you go. Can I still gain an optimal amount of muscle while fasting 16-8 daily? Yes. Okay. Can you gain muscle without getting tummy and love handles? Yes, you just do it slower. If you're gaining fat in the pursuit of building muscle, you're eating too much. Okay, last few questions. We're going to probably do 15 minutes on this. Is calorie deficit 4 times a week enough for maintenance? Not going crazy the other 3 days. Yeah, I'm sure. For maintenance. Why would you be in a calorie deficit 4 days a week if you're in maintenance? Okay, let's have a look. We need to treat, you know, you can get collars for dogs that electrocute them when they bark. I know it's cruel. Ask us again in a week. Okay, here we go. Where'd you get your almond croissants from? Guys, if you want to live a great life without addiction, don't have almond croissants. I'll tell you that. Okay, let's have a look. Got any more ones here? Hi, James, fellow nurse here, trying to lose a few kilos. Should I eat my burnt calories while on a calorie deficit? Do you know what? Here's the fucking $1 million question. Shall I eat my burnt calories on a deficit? Nicholas, you are doing it wrong. Okay. So you're using MyFitnessPal and you've been giving an amount of calories back that you are eating. So what's happening here is you've let MyFitnessPal determine how many calories you should be having. That's wrong. And I'll tell you why. You can find out your calories for free on my app, but you should determine the amount of calories you burn in a day. Any basic calorie calculator will teach you that. You find out how old you are, how big you are, your gender, then you times that amount of calories by the amount you move. You're given a rough amount of calories. You do not eat back calories from exercise because they should already be included in your calorie goal. The reason for this being is if I put you in a 15% deficit, which is what I use on my calculator, jamessmithacademy.com, if you do that and you don't make it to the gym, rather than me saying, oh, you got to throw up your dinner, or, oh, you know, you're not allowed that, instead, your deficit just disappears because training at best is 10 to 15% of your daily calories, right? So let's say your name's Nicholas, see it in the comments there, Nicholas Rivero. Let's say you're 2,200 calories a day for fat loss. Fucking eat 2,200 calories every day. Get in a routine of eating the same thing every day, or the same rotation of meals and the same snacks, and going to the same sandwich shop and having the same sandwich when you fancy a fucking sandwich, right? 2,200 calories. It's either going to work or it doesn't. If it doesn't, we'll go to 2,000. Cool. Oh, James, I was supposed to train today, but my dog took a shit on the fucking kitchen table and I was late for work. Cool. You're not going to lose fat on that day. But you should not be playing a game with MyFitnessPal where you have an allocation of calories that you eat back like you're a fucking hamster on a wheel. That's not how this works. So, you know, it's one of those. Varga, any advice for a newbie at the gym like me? What should I do first? Stop guessing what you're doing. Follow a program, get a plan, be educated, use my academy. So guys, to wrap this one up, the only way I make money is I have an online personal training academy called jamesacademy.com. I posted it earlier on. I'm going to see if I can pin the link. It's free to use. I've just pinned the link there. It's free to use for the first 7 days. You can get access to my coaches and everything through that. And then there's a money back guarantee. If any of you do decide to join my academy in the next few days, within the first 14 days of joining, if you don't feel like it's worth double the money you're paying for it, you let me know, I'll refund you in full. So from here, I've got to go, I'm afraid. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do head to my app if you want any more information on calories. You can get a program for free on the trial. Stop guessing what you're doing. And yeah, I look forward to jumping on this again tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you have any more questions, feel free to use the question box on my Instagram or email me at james@jamessmithacademy.com. Chat to you guys in a bit. Bye-bye.